I recorded my lessons with my students,
It
and it
didn't do
didn't
that.
do that. So those are settings.
Which is stupid because my settings weren't always like that.
It's probably like a fucking update. I think you have to go to the actual website and do like a
Oh my
setting.
god. Fuck you, Zoom.
Yeah. Fine, I'll deal with
Going to
it.
Google Meetups. This is fucking stupid. I'm not deaf. I'm not blind. I don't need a fucking thing screaming in my ear telling me I pushed a record button.
This is why everybody's going to Google Meets.
I'm done. Zoom,
So done.
You're finished. I'm going to send an email to your CEO through LinkedIn, and I'm going to tell him, look, enough's enough.
Enough's enough? Hey, Coop, is this the second week you're going to be a Karen again?
I think I'm just going to be a Karen from now on.
You know what's funny? I went to, we're recording this. So you can edit this later, or you can do introductions. But legit, I remember, or that Monday or Tuesday, I think it was that Tuesday, I went to a Starbucks that was in question.
Yeah.
And I tagged you. I didn't put the picture of the Starbucks, but anybody who's from San Jose knows exactly what that cross street is. Especially for those who like know us, they know where we live. We know where we're referring to.
Oh, the one on Story and White?
Yeah, okay, now we can say the streets. Okay, so...
Oh, I didn't do that, but whatever. It's not in context of the episode, so whatever. Story in White, but it's not like anyone knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's on Story in White. 951. Okay. And I was taking a picture of... I took a picture of like a rather cross, and I'm like, hey, they still didn't have those stoppers. So
they still didn't?
No.
A fucking week later? Dude?
Was it though? Because I think you went like...
Okay, still, what, 5 days later?
No, when did you go?
I went last Saturday.
Okay, because we recorded that episode on Sunday, and it was released on Monday. I went that Tuesday, so 4 days later.
That's
and it still
terrible. 4 days?
Well, now, Coop.
Now what? Yeah.
Let's say you place the order over the weekend. They're probably not going to get into like Wednesday. You know what I'm going to do just for you, Coop?
You shouldn't place an order when you're already out of something, though. So once again, too little, too fucking late. What?
This is what I'm going to do for you.
You're going to go back there?
I'm going to go tomorrow. I'm going to order the same thing I always ordered, which is an iced triple shot espresso with some half and half or breve for those who whenever I feel like fancy. Yeah. It's basically like an Americano, but like way cheaper by like 50 cents. So it's not super cheaper, but it adds up.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna ask, oh, excuse me, in my super voice. So, do you have the little stopper thingies? And see what they say. If they give me one, I'll take a picture. If they don't give me one, you be expecting the picture tomorrow around 2:00 in the afternoon.
Dude, listen, if they don't even fucking have them, someone should just burn that place to the fucking ground. Like, there's no point in even being in business.
No. Come on.
No, Coop, it's over.
Coop, no. Hear me out, Coop.
Put a pizza in there. Put a pizza. Let it burn, and then put a pizza in there.
Listen.
They'll have the fucking stoppers.
First off, East San Jose needs a fucking pizza.
There you go. I'm telling you, burn it right now. Take the insurance money. Pizza. No one will get hurt. I don't want any harm. It's got to go. The building's old. We can make this happen. We just got to tell the right people.
Listen to me. First off, if Pete's listening, we need a Pete's coffee, not in the Evergreen area.
No,
No. We need it like on the heart of East San Jose. We need it somewhere before passing White Road.
Somewhere it's going to get looted and robbed.
Yeah. Where parking's going to be a bitch.
Yeah, you're like, don't put it in a respectable part of San Jose where they care about their buildings and storefronts.
No, put it across adjacent from that Starbucks and put it where
you know what? Put it in the Home Depot parking lot. That's a nice area. Oh, God. Yeah. Story Road is just a shit heap now. It's so bad.
Did you hear about the window schnitzel on Story burning down? I know that happened like 2 months ago.
I saw it was fenced off. Is that what happened?
Yeah, it burned down a couple.
It was still up, but maybe they had damage.
Yeah, I guess like it started like in the storage up there. Like there was a fire. So I'm like, fuck.
Dude, that just means there are weird crackheads probably like doing something.
Yeah, that's
how does that fucking happen?
I don't know, but I love that window schnitzel. But it's such a freaking drag to like not pulling in, but like pulling out.
Yeah, because it's such a shitty street, man.
Because it's literally like, it's a heavy traffic street and
heavy flow, if you will,
or even flow.
Oh, Pearl Jam.
You like that?
Hey now, what you fucking burn that Starbucks to the ground now? All right,
over here. And open.
Should have had the green stoppers and I wouldn't have bitched about it.
There's like 4 Starbucks on the road.
Well, that one's my least favorite.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, the only reason I'm not asking for no harm is because there's a school like a block away from there.
Do it on a weekend.
Well, no, because my friends teach there, and I know for a fact that's where we go. When I used to work there, we used to walk across the street to a Starbucks, and it was much needed. That coffee was much needed. So we definitely don't burn it down. Maybe during like summertime, but not in the fall when my colleague.
Summer's worse though. Because then it's hot. And then you got a hot fucking fire burning and everyone's got the windows open.
Well, according to you, it's already a hot piece of shit out there, so might as well.
I'm just saying, if it goes now, you get it'll be done before it gets real hot.
Yeah.
You might even be able to get the construction started before September. We could have a pizza in there before October.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on how quick they can sell the spot after it gets burned. And then they got to rebuy it. So
as long as they don't open up a fucking Phil's. And I'm just not a fan of Phil's.
I don't care what goes in there. I just want it. I just want them to have the green stoppers. That's all I ever wanted.
You know what? I'm just gonna step it up. I'm gonna be more social conscious, and I don't want no pizza. I don't want no Starbucks. I don't want no big chain. I want a nice local family-owned coffee shop there. And if it is by some Latinos or Latinx, whatever you guys want to call it, then I'll be all for that. I'll drive out there.
You know what? I feel like those people would have more pride, and they would actually have things for people. They would
have the stopper. Yeah.
Yeah, they would care because you know what? People with small businesses go the extra mile with conversation, with impressions, because word of mouth is so meaningful. And Starbucks doesn't give a shit. Starbucks is a corporate entity. They could literally be fine for the next 6 months not having those little stoppers. Yeah, people like me will bitch and complain. They're still gonna make money.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. So they don't care.
Well, it's funny, dude, because I think we talked about this coffee shop, the Nirvana. Oh yeah, you went there last
Nirvana
week.
Soul.
Nirvana Soul. Where like I'm in there with my mask, but she recognizes like legit my Linda from Bob's Burger freaking glasses.
Yeah.
She recognizes and she's like, "Oh, hey, honey, like, how you doing? I love your glasses." I'm like, "Fuck." But she knows me. Cool. I'm like, does that mean we get a discount? But no, she hasn't hooked it up with.
You know what though? But that's why exactly that place is nice, it's personable, they care. I'm not saying Starbucks can't be like that.
No, absolutely not.
You know, fuck them. Yeah. Anyway, first world problems, you know, once again.
Also, before we were recording, we were talking about like artists that we wish we would have seen. And apparently Cooper and I, we've been to many shows, but we don't go together and we don't know that we're at that same show. Like, remember we were talking about the Slayer, Hell Yeah, Mayhem tour, like the last one they did. I think you were there.
Oh yeah, with King Diamond.
Yeah, King Diamond. Yeah. And then we were talking about how we were at BFD. We've been at the Smashing Pumpkins show and stuff like that. But that BFD, I remember because we were talking about like artists we wished we would have seen. And I'm like, well, I got lucky. I saw Chester from Linkin Park several times. And then I even saw The Prodigy, which was a special treat.
He smacked his bitch up.
Yeah, he did smack his bitch up. Great fucking song. Anyways, great band, dude. It's a shame. But like some artists I wish I would have seen were like, you know, I wish I would have been able to see like Eddie Money or like David Bowie or Bowie.
No, it's Bowie. Bowie's the knife.
Yeah. Which is still the same way, but
it is. They're just weird people.
English is confusing, but
I almost saw Soundgarden.
Really?
Yeah, well, I could have saw him, but I would have been a really shitty boyfriend because my boy Dover got me tickets to go see Soundgarden. I wasn't paying attention. I was like, sweet, you know, whatever. Things happen. This was months before, and then Steph had a business trip, and I had to pick her up from the airport.
Oh, yeah.
And dude, it was like, yeah, I could go and have her Uber home, you know, which wasn't the original plan for her.
Yeah.
So like I would have been in doghouse. But now looking back, I probably should have done that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, dude, if that's the only reason we don't get married, then yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I'm just kidding. But like, but I'm like, yeah, Chris Cornell's gonna die. So hey.
Yeah, but who
I went in a time machine. I found out he's gonna die. I got to go to this concert. She wouldn't have believed me anyway.
Yeah,
but
because like, God knows how many times we're like, oh yeah, we'll see him next time. Oh, we'll catch that bad next time. And it's like, oh shit.
You know what killed me though is I found out that he told me someone else went, and the person that went didn't even look like they were having a good time. That killed me more than finding out someone had a good time. I was like, fuck, should have went.
But going back to that BFD, for those who, I'm not expecting anybody to know, but BFD is like the local radio station does this like big festival day, and they bring in like a bunch of acts that are either gonna go on tour that summer, or it's just like the hot bands right now at the time. So we're talking about like now it's shitty, but like the year we went, it was like what 2011, 2012.
Yeah, that's maybe 2013 because I think you said
aroundish.
It was Chester Bennington. With Stone Temple
SDP.
Yeah,
with Stone Temple Pilots. And then 30 Seconds from Mars were playing, and we're just saying like how good looking is fucking Jared Leto.
I mean, yeah, he's good looking if you like fucking track marks and sunken cheeks, and he kind of looks like a junkie. Yeah. I think he's always, but you know what?
Well,
maybe I'm just judging him based on his fucking Lord of War movie, which I need to let that go. He was the junkie little brother.
And remember, he's I forgot what like the actual term is, but like he's one of those people like when he goes into a role, like he
like a method actor.
A method actor, there you go. So
he's like he actually started doing heroin.
I'm pretty sure he did. No, but I remember that show. I remember they were setting up the stage because I was like right next to the sound booth, and they're setting up something, and I told the person I was with at the time, I'm like, I told my girlfriend at the time, I'm like, dude, they're gonna like watch, he's gonna perform. You're like, no, he's not. I'm like, no, I'm like, they're setting up a stage.
Yeah.
Like, how you know? I'm like, there's a fucking microphone there. Like, something's gonna happen. And I went to the bathroom, and as I'm coming back from the bathroom, like Jared Leto's like maybe 3 people ahead of me, but no one really recognizes, no one really notices him because like the lights are off and there's like just the security guiding them. And I'm like, oh my god, it's Jared Leto. And I remember like he was like maybe 5 seats away from where I was sitting. And he's just like right there performing with freaking acoustic guitar, and I'm just like, oh my god, he's like right there. I can touch
how
him.
Tall is he?
He's I think he's shorter than me. He's like 5'10".
Okay, so he's not like as tall.
Yeah, you know
he's
what?
Like an average height.
Yeah, let me see.
5'10's not really technically short, I would say, for a man.
No, because I'm 5'11". She's like freaking 6'4". Yeah, he's 5'11". So yeah, he's around my size.
Yeah, so he's not really short.
Or my height.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's not.
He's actually taller than I thought he would be. He's, for some reason I was thinking short.
Yeah, it might be because of the long hair.
Maybe I also stereotype the music. I just assume short people make soft music.
But he's so rocking.
But, I'm not saying soft. That's not fair. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. But
he's more like, he's not soft. If you compare anything to fucking like Gorgoroth.
In all fairness, I've seen 30 Seconds to Mars or From Mars, whatever, like a handful of times, like 3 or 4 times. And even though it took me a while for me to appreciate their music, now I blast it and I'm like, oh my god, this fucking song's so epic. But like even at the time, I'm like, okay, I'm not really into like this band, but like their performance wise is just fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So just great musicianships and like performers. And,
they're catchy. Can't break me down, right? Bury me.
Yeah, bury me.
Bury me. I wonder how many girls told him that when he was like doing it to him.
And
they're like, bury me.
We are the kings and queens of the city.
And then he kisses them on the forehead.
They're just so fucking epic. I'll tell you what's not epic, dude.
What?
This is what we're about to turn this.
Oh, that's a segue. Nice turn. Yeah, there we go.
Thank you. As you guys who are listening to this, you guys know that Coop and I were both from San Jose, California. And as of recording this Thursday, May 27th, and yesterday, Wednesday, 26th, our beloved city of San Jose, California, was yet another victim, yet again, I should say, a victim of a mass shooting. And this one kind of hit way closer than the first one. The first one was about 20, 30 miles a little bit south in the city of Gilroy.
Yeah.
Which hit close to me because I was gonna go to, like, that very same day I was gonna go to
the Garlic Festival.
to the Garlic Festival, and two, my cousin and his wife, they're like one of the organizers for that. And I remember I was gonna go up, I was like 105. I'm like, yeah, fuck that, I'm not gonna do that. And then, like, I remember happening, and I call my cousin, and luckily he answered. I'm like, all right, thank God. And he's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, all right, I'll talk to you later. And then a week later, the El Paso shootings happened. And at the time, my ex-girlfriend's sister lived there. So it was like that Walmart that was shot up. I was there, right.
Like, well, that was back in what, January or something?
No, it was like in July of 2019.
Are you sure? Because I feel like we were doing the pod when it happened.
Oh, now that's Colorado.
Oh, it was Colorado, and then we were talking about El Paso.
Yeah. No, dude, yeah. And you know what? And you just brought up a point. This shit is becoming so fucking common that we're kind of like, one, I see it, and I'm like, we're just so like desensitized.
Desensitized.
What's the word?
Yeah.
Yeah. To it, where it's just like, oh, okay, well, that sucks. You know, like, I was seeing CNN. I know I'm the fucking devil. I was seeing fake news CNN yesterday. Thank you. The Clinton news network. And what sucked is, like, I'm seeing Chris Cuomo talk about it, and it's like not even like breaking news front. It's like the 10th segment. And I'm like,
oh yeah.
I'm like, fuck, dude, is that what our society has come to? Like, Columbine, when we were in high school, when I was in high school in 99, like, it was talked about for like fucking days. And I'm pretty sure if I tune in to any of the big news network that's not local, they're probably not even gonna talk about it.
And I mean, that's more of that's not even desensitization, that's programming.
Yeah.
So they're not even, that's selective programming, you know?
For sure.
They're just like, we don't care to report it. It's not a big deal.
Because it's so freaking common now.
Let's talk about things Trump did wrong last year.
Yeah.
Or like, if it's Fox News, let's talk about what Biden's doing wrong. Like, none of that is as important as what, you know what I mean? So like, it's just frustrating that, like you just said, you know, I guess local news would probably talk about it enough. But then it's like, what if you don't live in the Bay and you have family there? Like, so for me, the way I found out was through my phone, because I don't even know how it popped up, but I must have just jumped on Google for some reason, and Google's front page is always the standard thing. So right at the top, it said San Jose shooting, and I was like kind of looking at the date to make sure. I don't know why that was my first thing, but I just wanted to make sure it happened today or whatever. Yeah. And then, of course, you know, I see VTA, and then, you know, I kind of freak out too, because one of my best friends, Michael, is a bus driver for VTA. He's
a great guy. He's a great guy.
I got a really good friend, Israel, that also works bus driving. So it's like, I was like, I think it happened in the morning.
Yeah, like it happened like a little bit before 7 o'clock.
Yeah. So I called my buddy, because I found out at 12, like 12 noon. And then I call my buddy, and he, of course, starts work at like 3 or 4. So he's fine. Yeah. And he answers the phone, and I'm like, okay, well, you're alive. That's good. You're not dead.
Yeah.
And then he's all, no, I'm fine. Like, they're not running light rail today, but I guess buses are going, so I'm going to go to work. But yeah, he was fine. And I didn't really do the right thing. I mean, I did the right thing with him, but I didn't like tell Steph everything's cool, because I was at work, and we opened at 12. So I literally was talking to him when we were opening up. I was by myself at work getting things going. So I had to just jump back onto work. And then, you know, people were, of course, calling me and making sure, you know, for the same reason I called Michael. And it was fine, but it's just like, you know, he said it was like a union meeting in the morning, but it was like between a different group of workers. It wasn't like drivers, or I don't know, or maybe it was, but he's like, I don't normally go to those. And it's just weird, man. It's like you said, it's kind of like, my opinion on it is weird, because I'm going to be honest about it, man. If I don't know anyone, and this is shitty, But if I don't know anyone that happened to, it's not gonna fuck with me really. I mean,
yeah.
So it does, like, I'm a human being, like I feel bad, and but I can admit I'm desensitized as well. Like
there's no connection to it.
If it's not a personal thing, it's a tragedy, and it bums me out because it does. It overall, it won't like on the surface bum me out, but it's just piling up crap kind of bumming you out. That's going to eventually boil over. And I think that's how it's wearing on a lot of people. I think it's a slow burn. And these are worrisome because these are problems way later down the line. We're not picking up on all these issues. We're just, putting prayer vigils out and then just moving on to the next one. It's just like, when is this shit going to stop? Why does it always become political? Like, I'm just so glad that people I know didn't make it political. There was a couple people on Facebook made it political. And I wasn't surprised. And they were actually older. They weren't younger, but it was just like, it was disappointing. And I didn't acknowledge it, but it was just like, this is like a sensitive time for people. And it's just not the right time to be agendavizing like your theory on why this happened and what we need to do. Like, let's take care of the problem first, which is, getting these people, like letting them deal with bury their dead and handle their family,
their grief and shit.
Their grief, and not make this into a fucking, soapbox for someone to be like either way on it. I don't even want to like get into it. I mean, how I feel, but it's just like, it's not important. What's important is, why it happened, and why it happened isn't either one way or the other on that whole gun thing, in my opinion, but whatever.
At the end of the day, dude, like, we all know what's the point. And again, I think because we're just so used to this type of events happening over and over, like, Eileen. So like, I can definitely like put up there and be like, oh, this is why we need to do this and that.
Right.
But how many times have that been said already? How many times have that been said? How many times have that been preached? How many times is the other news channel is going to tell you, oh, they're coming to take your guns, over my dead body, and a threat to the Second Amendment. And like, we know both sides. It's just, it comes down to like, okay, how do we do this? Like, okay, are we going to invest more on mental wellness, to give resources for this type
I think that's what they should do, rather than outlawing something that could not. There's a potential, whether you agree with it politically or not, there's still a potential that outlawing guns isn't going to change anything. So, dude, if you're coming up with solutions, you typically want to choose something that is going to have a higher margin of success than just like, well, this works for this political group, let's just give it a shot and see if it fixes everything. It's like, no, that's not the right attitude. You need to be crunching data. You need to be figuring out what we really can be doing. And like I told Steph, I said, what's, because I was venting about that Facebook post, and I said, you know what sucks? As I said, is even if guns weren't allowed or whatever, like, not here, you can't have one, it wouldn't have put guns in any of those people's hands that got shot.
Yeah.
Either. And they still would have died.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you're saying we're not going to have guns. Now this crazy person isn't going to go and shoot people. Okay. Well, it's still illegal to do that now. It's still not okay to bring your gun to work day. That doesn't exist. So
there's still gonna be people.
It's still gonna fucking happen, and it's just
bombs and shit, and post them all over.
Stop downplaying the situations and making it seem like it's a one solution thing. I mean, in my opinion, that's also disrespectful, because then you're making it seem like it was so avoidable. Like, could you imagine if you were family of those victims? Like, if I heard that shit, it would piss me off. I'd be like, it was so avoidable. What are you trying to make it sound like they're idiots?
Mira Coop.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. Since the 60s, 70s, there's been this war against drugs. We stopped the drugs from coming in, and then the drugs is not gonna stop, or drugs are gonna stop, and the addiction rate is gonna go. And it hasn't. It's been coming in. There's a higher profit now to bringing in those drugs. I'm not saying fucking make drugs legal, but what I'm saying is,
well, decriminalizing them might help.
But here's the thing: instead of fucking preventing drugs to come in, why don't we open or making rehab centers more accessible for lower income people, and then they can fix their problem. And then if there's no demand for these type of drugs, then the rate will go down. Same thing with like, I feel like if your excuse like, oh, this person was depressed and he's schizo friend or whatever, any excuse that we, not just in this case in Sounds Late, but that we've been seeing all of our fucking lives, like fucking blaming on Marilyn Manson shit, like, okay, if Columbine, if those kids were so disturbed with what's going on and listening to angry music, okay, then why don't we offer them psychological help? Why don't we give them that outlet to speak? If this person that did this fucking crime yesterday, if he was on the radar, he was reported as his ex-wife reported him as that he raped her. All this shit is coming out. Like, okay, what come there wasn't no sort of, and I believe even the reports were saying, like, even the workers were saying, like they put him under the radar. They're like, hey, this guy's like, there's something off with this guy. Like, how come no psychological evaluation was taken into consideration?
And you know what's even more fucked? What? It's a union job, so it's almost next to impossible to get rid of those people. There's people advocating. Dude, that's the thing. When I worked for the post office, you get every type of person in there, and they all can't lose their job. Once they're vested, it's like you have to literally like kill people or kill yourself, or, I mean, even if you're a DUI, I've heard stories. There's bus drivers that are on, opiate pills and shit like that. They get DUIs. They crash shit. They crash the fucking bus. They total the bus. They don't lose their job. They go to rehab.
Yeah.
But that's after the fact that they made a mistake. That's just also a chemical, like, addiction, I guess you could say. That's not necessarily a mental problem. Yeah. So I agree. But I also think, the problem with mental help is it has to be voluntary. So people like that would have to be able to be in a situation where they acknowledge that and then also would want to get help. Because unfortunately, if we go back to the days of calling the loony bin and having pick people up, we're going to be locking up a lot of people that aren't crazy. I mean, it's a fucking shitty situation where it's like there's moments where, where they got rid of the asylums back in the day, and then people were like, that's great. And then like, we'll work on these people. And we didn't. Society took a shit on all those people. It neglected them. And now that's part of the reason. I mean, I don't know if it's a crazy theory, but I really think it's not that we have way more homeless people. It's that we have so many people that have no like structure of what to do with their lives because they're not the type of people that have that for themselves. And they just go to drugs. They go to being homeless. And not all homeless people are drug addicts, but there's a lot of them. And not all homeless people are crazy, but once again, also there's a lot of them. It's like,
I mean, cool, but one thing, in college we're talking about homeless and like the high rate of drug abuse and alcoholism. And something that a person came in and said, well, think about it. Like, how much does it cost to get food for like a day? $20-$40, and then you're going to be hungry again in a couple of hours. Like, you can go get yourself a fucking 40 for $2. You'll get drunk, you forget about your problems, and you're not hungry. And, it's cheaper to be subdued to your substance sometimes rather than, doing the alternative.
I mean, I agree with that to a point. And the only reason I don't agree with it completely is because if you go into a grocery store and you really need to eat, you can get a meal for under $5.
Yeah. And also, once you get a lot of, like, when I watch Intervention and shit, like, a lot of these addictions are not like $20.
I mean, I will say what you just said. The one thing that's definitely true about it is much easier and much more convenient to buy the 40.
Yeah.
Than to go to a grocery store. And also, there's so many places to get 40s. You don't have to wait in a long line. I mean, you're right. Yeah. You're right. You're totally right. I just didn't want to agree with it on a sense where I'm like, I hate corner stores. And I know that's not what you're saying. But no, it's true. I mean, it's totally true. We don't have the right things that are available.
Yeah.
It's not that we're stupid and we can't do the homework, but it's like, if society is fed up enough, then we need to make change. It's not about asking for it. It's not about waiting for it. It's just about doing it. And I feel like what we need to do is and everyone could do this, is reach out to people. If there's someone that's going through something, or you just feel to yourself, I haven't talked to this person in a long time. How are they doing?
Yeah.
Just reach out to people, because maybe this guy didn't need a call, but reaching out and talking to people is it's good for you. It's good for them. Yeah. It's good to see how people are doing. And sometimes, I mean, you know how it was in 2019. Those nights where we had those issues, if something would have maybe came and spoke to us in a way that, who knows if he would have taken it for what it was.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe it would have took us off the ledge, third eye blind, and we wouldn't have, maybe we wouldn't have fell down that hole, but that's where we needed to go. I mean, things happen, but, yeah.
But you just said it, Coop. I think the only reason now we're not on that hole no more is because we acknowledged that something wasn't right. And we decided to do something because the alternative was not good.
No.
We acknowledged the alternative to us not being alive. There's more pros of us staying alive than the other situation.
Yeah.
And I feel like it wasn't until like a while, of course I was getting fucking pet talks. Of course I was getting like all these like, oh, don't worry about it, or let's do this or that. And it wasn't until like I really, really hit my hole. It wasn't until like I realized, this is not normal for me to think these thoughts. It's not normal for me to think that the answer to my solution is me just erasing myself from this world.
Yeah.
Like, that's not normal. And that's when I realized, like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, why am I even thinking that? And that's when I decided to make the telephone call and seek for therapy. That's when I decided to sign up for classes and started to do meditation and all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I'm 100. By all means, I'm not fucking 100% better.
Yeah.
Or cure, I should say, but I am way better than where I was. A year ago, or 18 months ago.
No, me too. And I think, that's why we do this too, is to just remind people of our imperfections, and that the fact that we're working on ourselves is the main thing. It's not even the how to do it. It's just how we're doing it. And it's kind of like airing out our laundry, showing how human we are, and just kind of like telling people, look, dude, like, we have a good time. We're not the same people. We are the same in some ways, but, talking, man, communicating, talking, enjoying time, laughing, like, those are all things that we need to focus on more, and less on like Facebook and social media. And I mean, we're all becoming introverts. If anything 2020's taught us is how to be fucking introverts. And I'm really hoping we get out of it. I know I'm not going to just teach my kids and we're going to fall into that slump, but I feel like society is heading in that direction. So I'm looking forward to us being a lot more outgoing. I'm looking forward to us getting out, hugging each other, sneezing on each other, and hopefully coughing into each other's eyeballs. So, we can really get back to how we were.
Yeah.
And hopefully people continue to wash their hands. But
please don't go work when you're sick. But that's another
or that
topic.
too.
But
yeah, exactly.
I would say one great thing about social media, I mean, for once, it definitely helped us reconnect and start this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
But most definitely, like, a lot of my great friends, like, meeting through Twitter, people I never met a single day in my life. But just like interaction with them and talking to them, and now I'm, dear friends that reach out and we talk constantly. And like, it's just crazy how, thanks to this power of media, like, we're doing it for the right reasons, like keeping connections, making those connections with people.
Yeah.
And for those who are listening and have been listening to us, it's not, again, we're not here showcasing how, because we're far from perfect. We're, if anything, like, our fucking idiotic rants are mostly show our imperfection, how human we are. But just a reminder that we're all going through it. We're all humans. You're gonna make mistakes, and this took me a while to accept, and maybe I'm still not accepting of it, but it's okay to make mistakes, because you need to make those mistakes in order to learn and to grow. And I'm really, really hard on myself when I make mistakes, or when I fail at something.
Yeah.
Super hard. Which is, since my world to like I don't like it. I hate feeling like a loser, and I still feel like a fucking loser sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think I need to remind myself, you know what, dude? Okay, you sucked in that. All right, cool. Well, what did you learn? Let's not do that mistake again. And I think that's very important for the listener to remind. It's like, hey, we all suck. We're all still learning. No one's gonna perfect anything, and
Right.
We're here for anything, dude. And it just sucks. The incidents, just to wrap up about yesterday. It sucks that incidents that happened in our own backyard yesterday. Um, our condolences go out to all those family members. I think I was seeing the pictures, and a couple of them, I feel like I most definitely seen them at local shows and stuff. Which sucks, because then that becomes a little bit more personal. It's like, oh yeah, that dude looks familiar.
Right.
Definitely he's from the east side, I think. So yeah, it sucks when you said, like, we hear about the shit that happened in Atlanta. I'm like, oh well, shit, that sucks, but I don't know nobody. It doesn't make it so close. Where like, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry if any of our listeners from Atlanta or anything like that. But
I mean, they probably feel that way about this too. They're like, I don't know where the Bay Area is.
Yeah, what the fuck is a VTA? What the fuck is a light?
Right.
Like,
exactly.
And understandable. So I don't know. I feel like it sucks. It's a really fucked up situation, but our condolences go out, and we just hope that this sort of event don't continue to happen so often.
Yeah, and we don't have control over that at all, and
Yeah.
I don't know. But like the main thing hasn't changed. Like you said, our condolences out to those that lost loved ones and to the families of the dead, the fallen victims. But
the innocent.
The main thing I wanted to say too is, it's like things will get better if we talk to each other, like more.
Absolutely.
I feel like people get neglected, and it's not anyone's job to help this person, whoever. I don't know the situation exactly, but it's just finding out who people are, knowing where you are and where you are. Like in high school, for example, I had some friends that were, you could say, high-profile, creepy people. And they weren't like, when I say friends, I don't say like good friends, but they were. I was friends with them because I was cool with them. / I also kind of was scared of them, just for that whole like reason of like, I don't know one day if you're gonna show up with a gun, and hopefully I'm not the one who gets shot, because we're cool, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, like, we all know that. We all have like those people we knew or something, right? And it's just like, it's good to know that didn't happen, but it's also good to know maybe that guy had enough people like myself that kind of like were like cool with them and talked to him. But that's not true, because those people that shot shit up are the same way. Like they had some friends, and then they would be like, oh, he seemed a little weird, but I didn't know any of. So I mean, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know the solution, but like you said, all we can really do is just keep our heads on a swivel, watch what we're doing when we go out, and if we notice something up, leave, call the police. Leave first, then call the police. Do what you think is right, but most importantly, take care of your own. Head on a swivel, and always look at what's going on around you. Just because you're leaving a Home Depot in a parking lot and it's normally fine doesn't mean it's going to be fine today. Just be smart.
No. And I think you nailed it when you're like, hey, like referring to like the example you gave, like, if a person's going to do it, it's going to do it. But maybe that person also thinks, you know what? There's enough people out here who accept me for my weirdness.
Yeah. Maybe it's not so weird.
Yeah. And maybe that's all we need, acceptance. Really quickly, so we can change the subject matter. Funny story. So in 1999, I was a freshman in high school at Gunderson High School here in South San Jose, or in South San Jose. And of course, that's when Columbine happened, and then the whole trench coat mafia thing happened about trench coats and whatever. Well, one of my classmates, her older brother, went to the same high school, and this dude used to walk around in a trench coat.
Yeah,
like that was his thing.
Right.
So when he came back to school, like, of course, like he was talking about how like the FBI like raided his home. He got pulled into the principal's office and everything because of the trench coat.
Yeah.
Whatever. I never saw him again. I think he graduated high school or whatever. A few years down the line, he's now living with one of my good friends in South San Jose also. Actually at the same house where we used to practice with for Chariot of Evil in South San Jose.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah,
okay.
I've been there.
So he lived in that house, and I'm like, hey, you went to Gunderson? He's like, yeah. So I started talking to the guy. Guy's super chill, and I tell him like, okay, dude, I went to high school. What was up with the trench coat? And he starts laughing. He goes, well, I really want to be like a news reporter, and I used to see like a bunch of like movies from the 50s and the 40s, and all those like news reporters used to wear, like detectives used to wear like trench coats, like Dick Tracy and stuff. So I figured since I wanted to be a news reporter, I would start dressing like one from the 1950s and 60s. And then this fucking trench coat mafia bullshit came out, and he's like, and he told me how he got raided, how they told him like the FBI like told him he should like never wear that again in public, because he was in danger, he was causing like.
So the only way it got to that point is someone fucking reported him.
Yeah, basically everybody from school reporting him like, hey, there's this guy here who.
I'd be so pissed off. Like I told you about my similar, like I didn't have the authorities involved, but I told you about my situation freshman year in high school when I was Joey Jordison, and my English teacher called me to the principal's office and had a parent-teacher conference with me and all this shit because he thought I was going to kill everyone.
Yeah, and you're like, dude, it's Slipknot.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, dude, they just went platinum, but sure.
Okay, like, yeah.
It's not like it's like it's not like it's like not popular music.
Yeah, but at that time I was like, oh, it's angry music, and
yeah, but that guy was such a bitch because he was it was his last year. Why make a fucking stink? Your last year teaching, you're done, you're retiring. You're just a real piece of shit if you're gonna start some crap your last year. You know what I mean? Like, most teachers are coasting. They're giving out easy grades. They're like, it's my last year. I want positivity. I want to end with a bang. Everyone's happy. I taught for 30 years. I'm not, I'm done. This guy's just like, what? Like, there's no reason. What were you going to do, man? Let's just say I was a crazy fuck, right? And let's just say all that shit was going to happen. So what? So you stopped this kid who dressed up like a person on Halloween. Congratulations, man. Thank you for your service. You have now changed society for the better, and we should give you like a prize for what you've done. Like, there's nothing that was gonna happen for you, dude. You're a fucking piece of shit.
Halloween, bro.
Yeah,
it's Halloween. Come on,
dude. It's just that's what I mean. Like, the guy clearly had an out for me, but the reason I brought that up is like it's just, there's people being proactive with being safe. And then there's fear mongers and people like that that want to falsely target other people, which is creating an issue on its own, because then you're creating this negativity and target on these other people's backs that weren't even involved. So you're creating a stigma. It's shitty. I think people need to understand what things are before they stereotype problems.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of the time we stereotype problems because we want an easy fix, or we just want to forget about it and sweep it under the rug. Oh, blame Marilyn Manson for Columbine. Cool. So if we get rid of the heavy music, kids won't shoot each other anymore. Okay. But here's the thing. If you're that stupid and you think that's simple, maybe you should have been the people that got shot, because it's just so frustrating to me when you can make something so like catastrophic into something just so easily fixable.
Just because you don't understand something doesn't mean it's wrong or it's evil.
Right. But I mean, either way, you're then just like, I mean, you don't solve any other problem in the world like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I got a flat tire. Maybe instead of changing it and moving on with my day, I should write a letter to my state senator explaining why we should outlaw nails, because the reason why I got a flat tire was I ran over a nail. So if we don't have nails anymore, we won't have flat tires, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that makes sense. You're not going to have a flat tire if there's no nails anymore. But then what do you build houses with? How do you build a deck? How do you build a bookshelf?
Mm-hmm.
I guess you can't use nails anymore because we don't want people to get flat tires.
And nails are not the only reason why you'll get a flat tire.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the fucking main point. It's like you take one thing away, we're adaptable, we evolve. Guess what?
Yeah.
What do you use in jail to stab people? A newspaper and toothbrush.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't kill people with toothbrushes and newspapers, but some people can. So that, it's like you can MacGyver rig a way to kill someone, or you could just use a gun, or you could just not. I mean, the thing that differentiates it. Away. Exactly. The thing that differentiates it from being a tool or a deadly weapon is the intent.
Mm-hmm.
And that has nothing to do with the actual thing itself. Anyway, I'm off my soapbox about guns. But I think we made our point pretty clear.
We made
it's not an easy solution, but we got to figure something out.
Yeah, there has to be a solution. And just outlawing something isn't going to be.
No, it's a Band-Aid. It's a fucking Band-Aid. And I hate Band-Aid approaches to problems.
Yeah. I mean, cocaine's illegal, but I mean, there's still people are freaking doing lines like crazy.
But like you said, man, the solution is rehab. The solution is counseling. And those aren't easy solutions.
No.
But that doesn't mean they're wrong. They are right. No. And sometimes to fix things, it's not easy. I mean, mental health is not an easy thing to fix, but it's something you have to work at every single day and lie to yourself sometimes and try and get yourself out of a funk and mostly coaching yourself to be a better person.
You got to be patient also. Don't just think, okay, what the fuck? I took 5 minutes of, I did my breathing exercises. I should be feeling better. No, doesn't work that way.
Yeah, you got to give it time. It's like even with a workout regimen, what most people say it takes 6 weeks to develop, or 3 weeks to develove habits.
2 or 3 weeks.
And then 6 weeks to usually see good results. So
yeah,
your body is one thing, your mind is another. I'm not saying it's going to take 6 weeks, but it's some food for thought. If it takes this long for muscles, then how long does it take for your brain? So give it some time, be patient. Every day, man. It's like playing an instrument or a hobby. You got to start somewhere. And you got to just do it every day. Make it a habit. Make it a habit to talk about your problems. Make it a habit to understand why you're not happy. I think that's a big thing, is identifying your unhappiness.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Absolutely, dude.
And speaking of unhappiness, this week's episode, that was a nice long intro. This week's episode is eulogies. We came up with an idea that we thought it would be interesting what would your eulogy say if you died tomorrow and you wrote it? So maybe the circumstances are kind of foolish, but what would your eulogy say if you wrote your own eulogy? This challenge at first was kind of like, I was a little like, okay, how's this going to work? And then I thought, what, I'm overthinking it. Just write the fucking thing.
Yeah. No, with me, I really didn't write word by word. I'm like, I just want them to hit this key points. And I mean, friends who are listening to this and stuff who know me, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see that. Or like, no, that dude's fucking being total bullshit. But this is all I want. Like, I wrote down 6 key verbs, if you will,
right,
or adjectives. I guess I'm English good, so. But I feel like these are things that I want to be remembered for, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You want me to go first, or?
Well, if you go first, so we got to do it with the music.
All right, might as well.
So, I'm gonna let you go, and you're just gonna take the floor, and yeah, let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready, sir.
All right.
First off, this song has to be playing in my eulogy. Sorry. And
there we go.
Someone better go up there and say, all right, motherfuckers, open this up one time for Danny.
That's right. All right, let me do it. All right, motherfuckers, let's open this shit up for Danny.
Get up, you fucking pussies.
I would have yelled more, but my kid's sleeping in the next room.
Yeah. You can't
Wake up!
Great fucking riffs, by the way. I love pop punk music. Anyways, there's 6 things I want Danny to be remembered for. It's very important for everybody to know that Danny was always genuine. He was always honest. He was always sincere whenever he said things. Danny has always been loyal to his family, loyal to his friends, and even loyal to people who done him wrong. That's just who he was. He was always loyal. He's a loyal person until he felt you weren't loyal anymore. Dan was also very outspoken. Always spoke his mind. Always fighting for justice, out there fighting for the social justice and, speaking his mind and really saying what's on his mind. And we always loved that about Danny. Danny was noble guy. Always just everything that word stands for, that was Danny.
I'm sorry.
He was also very unexpected. He will say, do, yell random shit out of nowhere. I think he might be a little bit bipolar. He might have ADD or might have ADHD, and this is why he will do unexpected shit like that. But never know. He never took the time to go and get. Well, actually, he actually did go and tell his doctor once, and his doctor told him in his early 20s, well, you graduated from high school and you're doing okay in college, so there's no need for you to diagnose with it because you already went through the hard parts with it. But most importantly, Danny was the light of the party. You knew when Danny was arriving. You knew when Danny was there. You knew when Danny left because he was just so sociable. And that, in a nutshell, was Danny. Now sing this. Everybody sing this part. I don't know
Danny, 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 Danny.
Everybody off your fucking feet.
Everybody
now.
Start two-stepping. We're getting this shit ready. Okay, everybody in the back. Grandma, that's you too. Abuela, we want you throwing up devil horns.
We need windmills and we need kicks for no reason.
Yeah, we're going to have to ask Uncle Raul to put that tequila down. Okay? You need to relax. We got 3 more songs, sir.
You need to stay positive.
Yeah.
And we're just the opener. This is just the opener also. The main event's still coming in.
Let's get your shit going, all right? Thank you, and good night.
But yeah, I think that would be like the key things I want my eulogy to say.
Danny, the reason I started laughing was because I was picturing someone doing this eulogy, and then I was just picturing them being assholes and diagnosing your fucking problems. Like, how ballsy in that eulogy where you're just like, he might have had ADD, he might have been bipolar, but I mean, we won't know because he never got help.
Yeah.
God, it's funny because it was great. I loved it. Because
you can see my friends going, yeah,
I mean, he's not wrong. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say that. But dude, could you imagine the daggers they would have got from your mom?
Dude, mom would be like,
oh,
the fuck do you say?
Oh, that's why I was laughing. I'm like, this is no, but see, that's what comedians would talk about sometimes too. They're like, when you go to like, it's great. They're like, you go to like a funeral and it's total bullshit because you're like, oh, he was such a loving husband, and I'm like, I watched him do coke off a stripper's ass.
Like, he's not
always the most loving guy. Like, no, it's just funny because they you'll hear, it's like that whole wedding singer part where they're like, he's doing the best man speech and
the best man.
He's like, well, I mean, I don't want to call them prostitutes, but I don't remember paying, like shit like that. Like, dude, it's just, I love socially awkward situations But I just wouldn't want to be the guy doing it. Like, that's fucking terrifying.
And I think that's why I love like shows like The Office.
Yeah.
You know, because it's always those like awkward situations.
Or like Curb.
Or It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, I love shit like that.
Yeah.
Well, being the narcissist I am, I wrote basically a college thesis of a fucking prompt to read you, and luckily the song is an hour-long loop, so I'll actually be able to get through this. So that's good.
Well, let's hear it. I mean, you're dead. Might as well say.
I mean, I'm dead. Look. So I'm really setting the mood with this music. I was gonna go a route and just kind of like make it all like, you know, but let's just be real here.
Yeah.
I want this to be read and felt. So here we go. Born on January 21st, 1988 in San Jose, California, Ryan Cooper. He lived and worked in San Jose until 2010 and then moved up to the East Bay with Steph to start their life together. He worked various jobs to make ends meet, but hated working for other people. Stephanie was a big part of Coop changing for the better. He had to evolve from his teen 20s persona into a stand-up man. Structure wasn't an easy thing, but soon it helped discipline his mind and his daily habits. The two were perfect for one another, and in many ways, Coop also helped Steph out too. Since he was the free spirit, that helped her understand that she needed to stop and enjoy life. Which is funny, because he's dead. After getting married in 2016, Coop wasted no time planting his seed and spreading the Cooper name. By 2020, Coop and Stephanie now were a family of 4, so they packed up the house in San Lorenzo and moved out to Tracy. Not long after losing his mother, his friend Danny also had a hard time. The two would then start a podcast together called Tales from the Head. He always loved broadcast since he was a young boy, with FM radio, and he would record those onto cassettes. Coop always mentioned how much he loved and appreciated stand-up comedy. He frequented the comedy shows in the Bay Area, as well as the world-famous Comedy Store in Hollywood. I think he found comedy comforting and uplifting, even though most of his humor is vulgar and dark. Music was a huge part of his childhood, and him and Stephanie's love for music carried on into their children. Frequent family jam sessions were mandatory, and everyone was involved. He was a music knowledge Nazi at times, and would ask everyone if they knew who the person was, but not because he didn't know, he just wanted to make sure you knew. In his eyes, it was like he's always on an episode of Rock and Roll Jeopardy. He was delusional. His greatest achievement, of course, was being a dad. He told this to me many years ago. He says it broadened his view on life and helped his heart grow. The love that a family accrues from having happy children is unmatched, and he always took pride knowing that it was his turn to raise kids and to teach and mentor them as best as he could. He was a nickname aficionado. Vincent was the Weasel, and Damon was Dame Dame. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. His ashes were scattered on the Top Gun roller coaster at Great America on a windy and very busy day in July. This was notarized and set in place on his 15th birthday, per his lawyer. And you know what? We're going to take some time and go over some favorite memories of the deceased. Personally, one of my favorite times was back in 2005 when he pushed his poo too hard at a Vans Warped Tour porta potty and got a hemorrhoid at age 16. Some of you might be like, why did he do that? Most of us don't understand why. But the reason he gave us years ago was he was worried his friends were going to ditch him. Well, I hope it was worth it. At least now you're not in pain. And that's pretty much it. I hope everyone enjoyed the music, but I wanted to say one thing. No. What's your reaction?
I love how it's about you, but it's everybody except you. It's about. I feel like it's more about Steph and her greatness, which she absolutely earned. But King of Names, I like that. That's a great fucking title, bro.
Yeah, I like my nicknames, man.
Yeah,
it's
and
hard
also,
to fucking pat yourself on the back, which I guess is a good thing. I guess it's a good thing to not be good at that, because that's kind of gross.
Also, Top Gun, I love that.
Yeah, fuck Flight Deck. I'm going old school.
Yeah.
I want Paramount Pictures to sue my ashes.
Yeah. Now, for those who don't know what we're referring to, we have a theme park here in San Jose, or is it Santa Clara?
Santa
Clara.
Yeah.
But in the South Bay, Santa Clara is like right next door. And if you ever see a 49er game and they show like the 49er stadium is legit right next door. Like it's the
same parking lot. Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, what Coop is talking about, that roller coaster, Top Gun is legit like right there. You can see it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can see it sometimes when they show.
And actually, there's a I forgot what it's called. It is a specific pass tickets you get that gives you access to Great America, so you can ride Top Gun and just Top Gun, I think. And then and also there's a buffet, like a really good buffet. So I did it once. And yeah, but yeah, you can ride pre-game the Top Gun Flight Deck roller coaster, but
yeah, but no, we remember this because that was my first place of employment, Paramount Square America, and it was called Paramount Square America because there was like a bunch of like movie props and like movie posters. Like I remember when they used to have the car from
Roger Rabbit,
World.
right?
Oh no, the Wayne's World.
Oh, Wayne's World.
They had a Pinto from Wayne's World or whatever.
I don't remember that, but that makes sense because that was a Paramount movie too, right?
Yeah, they had it for a little bit, and then they moved it somewhere else, like to another, like they probably took it to like some.
Dude, okay, so real quick about Great America, Drop Zone was a Paramount movie with Wesley Snipes.
Yup.
And it's about skydiving, I think.
Yeah,
or something, and then there was the fact that Part 3, Beverly Hills Cop 3, was set in Great America.
Yeah.
It was known as something else, but it literally was Great America, which is such a great gem to watch.
It's called Wonder World.
Wonder World, yep.
Yeah. And funny story about that is when they were filming the infamous shot where like Axel, Eddie Murphy's main character Axel's like jumping from cage to cage.
Oh, on the swing. on the cage thing.
On those swing thingies.
Yeah.
My dad used to work at the building right next door, like right next to where the demon is. So he was telling me how in his lunch breaks, like he will go and eat in the car and then take like a nap or something. So he said like he remembers seeing when they were filming that with the helicopter and the harnesses and stuff. So
oh wow, that must have been super cool.
So he saw that, and then we see the movie now, and we were like, oh yeah, I totally know where that scene is, or like where they took that from. But things like a mixture of like Great America and maybe Universal Studios or something like that. I feel like they also did a couple of scenes like Universal Studios or something like that, like the alien attack thing.
You're right, because which is funny because I don't think those are different production houses, but I think you're right because that one where it's like it crashes and the water comes in and the electrical, is that what you're talking about, Universal?
Yeah, that one.
So I think that was in the movie. Yeah. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's just cool. It's an overall really fun little throwback. And you know, why not throw your ashes? I mean, I've been saying this. I literally have been talking about this for 20 years that I want my ashes to be thrown off a roller coaster just so they get over. I mean, everybody's got a piece of me, dude.
Well, there's a lake also like right, or like a pond right next to it. Also,
I don't want it like in a nice way. I want people to pay.
Okay. A funny story also.
Yeah.
They're saying how like in Disneyland people have thrown like their ashes also, like, or people have thrown ashes on like, especially like in the Pirates of the Caribbean freaking tour. And they have to like close down the whole tour, like the whole ride.
Oh, dude, I mean that's a fucking health thing.
Drain all the water, clean everything, and the ashes are never recovered because they're just thrown out. So that sucks.
So Oh, you're saying like it's just maintenance? It wasn't even like they're like, ew, gross, we need to clean this out. They're like, okay, it's once a month. We got to dump the water. We got to change it out.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's going to be filtered. So you're not going to be in there forever. You're going to eventually get into a filter and they're going to throw you in the garbage. But
yeah,
you were in Jack Sparrow at least once.
Yeah.
Depending on what kind of fantasy you have. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's funny. Yeah, I call it Top Gun. And remember you see like, I haven't been to Grammar Gun forever. It may be like 20 years. But remember how they used to, when you were lying, like they had like the Top Gun song and Danger Zone.
Oh yeah, and then they have like little like audio clips of
Maverick,
yeah,
right behind you, beep, beep. You know, that was fucking fantastic.
Come on, Goose.
And I remember when they barely opened it, like people used to take pride in that ride. I remember like because your legs are dangling on that ride, so when they will lower it and it pushes you out, like smoke will come out like in the deck.
Yeah.
And I remember like the workers there wore like a jumpsuit. They wore like a jumpsuit, like a deck flight.
Yeah, like aviation type. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And they will salute you as you're fucking leaving. And now they don't even fucking do that. Now they just wear the uniform and they're like, all right, well, whatever. Next.
See, man, it's just not the same. This is why my ashes need to bring that back.
Yeah. They need me to relive my glory days in Great America when I worked there when I was
I'd play Bruce Springsteen right now for you if I could legally.
I know. And I think they played that at Paramount's Great America.
Yeah, now that it's just California's Great America, well, they do their best. I did want to put some honorable mentions for songs that now is going to be, I think, you know how you do like a will and all this stuff. So I will do a will, and it will dictate what songs must be played at the ceremony, because I know how annoying it is to pick music and be worried about, oh, is this tasteful? I did all the work for you.
Yeah.
So I put a couple honorable mentions, and then obviously when I really do this, I'm going to throw in some fucking heavy shit, dude.
Oh, fuck yeah. Dude.
You are going to listen to something that just is going to either change your life or it's going to make you just want to vomit.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm happy. So
yeah,
the songs that I thought would be effective for me to read my eulogy over would be Why by Annie Lennox. Have you ever heard that one?
Mm-mm.
The one where she goes, why? No? So anyway, I don't want to play it because obviously I can't fucking play it and then they'll take it down. So I'm just going to do that shitty thing, and then you're either going to know what I'm talking about or you're not. The other one I had that I thought would be good was I Will Remember You by Sarah McLachlan.
Oh, yeah.
Because, dude, you know how funny it would be is if you're reading this and all you hear is, I will remember you. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, so I think not only would it make people cry, it would probably make some of my high school friends want to laugh.
Yeah.
Or they just think they're watching like a Humane Society adoption commercial or something.
They're like, there's no way this is freaking real right now.
These pets need your help. He's dead. He doesn't. Yeah.
I'm trying to look at my list of songs. I think for sure, I mean, just off the top of my head, like Oasis Wonderwall would have to be there. Because that song's just like, it's always been one of my favorites.
Last Caress by Misfits.
Probably not. It'll probably be Hyper Moments or Halloween.
Something a little more. What about Skulls, dude? Do Skulls.
Oh, that'd be dope. Or
I don't want your
I want your soul. I need you. Or Death Comes Reaping or something.
Yeah. Hybrid Moments is a good one. That's pretty jumpy.
I'm looking at songs that the top 10 album songs. So I'm just going to look at them and see what a song. So number one album that influenced me was Blink-182's Dude Ranch. So obviously like Damn It, but not even Damn It. I think Josie is one of my more favorite songs from that album.
Okay.
But Zero by Smashing Pumpkins or even like Tonight.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Smashing Pumpkins, you can't go wrong.
Oh no! In fact, just throw in their Spotify. This is Smashing Pumpkins. Just throw that one all.
You know what I like about Smashing Pumpkins is like he goes from being like to in like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
I love Smashing Pumpkins.
Those dynamics. He goes from going,
yeah, like
he sounds like
tonight, especially tonight, when he's like, "This always is, and you never say it." Like, it's like, dude, it's so good.
Time is never time at all.
It'll never
ever.
I mean, he's such a dynamic singer, dude.
I love it.
Yeah,
dude. Another pop punk band, Phoenix TX.
NXTX, NXPX, MXPX.
No, Phoenix TX.
I was butchering the shit out of it.
Not No Effects, not MXPX, which I will love some of that shit.
So Phoenix TX.
Yeah,
got it.
They had a really big song on MTV called "All My Fault," but whatever. That's I could sign out. I already said Oasis. Some Thrice will have to be thrown up in there.
Okay.
A little bit more heavier. Leaning towards like, all right, this guy likes some Finch, some What It Is to Burn, maybe.
Oh, maybe a little Untitled. No, I'm kidding.
Dude, I love Untitled.
That's a good one. That is a great. You know who got me into that album?
Who?
Can you guess? It's probably not a hard guess, but we know so many people.
Yeah, Rilo.
No. Tom.
Great guy.
It was on his iPod. We went to his mom's work. It was the first time I met her. Total sidebar. But I listened to that record, and at the time I only listened to metal, so that was kind of my first introduction. That wasn't like super heavy. That was kind of punky
like
and poppy, but
whatever.
Cool. And still to this day, that record, What It Is to Burn, it's one of my high school things just because of that. So I love that. That's perfect.
Same, dude. Same. That album, like, it introduced me so much to, like, it opened for more heavier music for sure. Anti-Flag, you got to throw some pop punk in or some punk rock in there.
Yeah.
Some Angry Young and Poor. Some No Effect. I'm sorry, no effects. Some Boys Not Out.
Okay. Well,
Drag my corpse through the city. I never got to visit.
Dude, they should play that when they're pallbearing. Here's a question for you: are you getting cremated or are you getting buried? Oh wait, are you getting cremated? You can still get buried. Are you getting cremated or are you doing a coffin thing, casket?
I would prefer cremated.
Yeah, me too. Okay,
expensive.
Cool. So yeah.
But then again, I know my family. It depends. Like, at the same time, I think it'd be hella cool if they take my body back to Mexico and there's like the bandas playing while I'm being like carried to, and then like I don't know where there'd be like people with guns and like guns are being blasted off with banda, and it's funny because it doesn't there's nothing about me that says that, but
maybe there is.
Maybe
it's your birthright.
Here I am talking about gun control, but yeah, I want people like if they can like pop, 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 pop,
dude, let me tell. I'll blast a few rounds off for you, bud.
That's all I want, baby.
Right in the sky. Damn, you came prepared with a fucking playlist. Can you do me a favor? Do you have that written down? Or is it written down or is it texted?
It's not really written down. It's like, you know how sometimes on social media they do like, challenges, 10 things. So last year I was challenged to pick an album a day of the 10 albums that changed like my life. Or that define my musical taste.
Right.
So that's why it's like so over. Like there's Boys Not Out, and then there's Deftones, of course. Because Deftones is like amazing. And then Brand New. Because who didn't cry to fucking The Quiet Things That No One Ever Knows?
I think first time I heard that album was walking Steph home once. Because she likes Brand New.
Yeah.
And I remember listening to an iPod, and I had it. I think I stole it from Tom or Ryan or somebody. And I think it was Tom. I don't think Ryan had. Yeah. Was Ryan into Brand New? Maybe he was.
I think he is.
But I remember so it's funny. Like it's funny because you and Steph and my MP people are all in that musical realm. So it's really cool. So a lot of nostalgia, even if it's not all my cup of tea. It's all relatable and like I know what you're talking about. So it's like I either love what you're talking about or like I love the idea of it because it's like such a golden age for me musically too. So it's just fun.
Yeah. It was and I think I was just talking to Steph because I think she posted Jack's Mannequin a couple days ago.
Oh yeah.
The where are you now? Oh, whatever. And I'm like, I never liked him in something corporate. But Jack Mannequin was just like, that was my shit. This is morning.
Yeah, because
yeah,
it's funny. So, oh yeah, I know she knows all this range. The dude she was talking to me about, she was singing Cartel the other day.
Oh yeah,
so
great band.
Yeah, and I actually bought one of their CDs years ago when she was into it. And I kind of was like, yeah, they're pretty sick. But what was I gonna say? God damn it! Well,
the whole time period with the music.
But no, it escapes me. But the thing I was saying was, yeah, send me that list of albums because that's even just cool for me to check out and want to listen to when I'm running out of ideas.
Yeah.
But I guess what I wanted to talk about was what we got from doing this today. Out of it, what you got out of it, and from what I got out of it so far was, it really helped me understand what I really need to appreciate and be happy about. And it also helped me focus on some of the things that I wish I could be more proud of or could have written in here.
Yeah.
Like you said, you said you didn't talk much about yourself. I for sure didn't. But it's just but I feel like it's as honest as you can get for your own view of yourself.
Yeah,
maybe, and it's more of the point of just trying to figure out what, you're okay. Look, you've done this much. And that's the thing about a eulogy. You don't always bring up bad things. So you're mostly focusing on the good.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a cool way to be yo, I guess, that wasn't that bad. I guess I got to be pretty happy I went through that and learned that, right? So that's how I feel about what I did. I think the music helped carry my thing a little bit, but how do you feel about your eulogy?
Yeah, they always tell us to, when I was going to therapy and talking to psychologists, she used to leave me homework, if you will, things to write, making challenging yourself to do something, or writing down 3 things that you will do. And it didn't have to be super big, oh, I'm gonna fucking climb a fucking mountain, but it'd be oh, I'm gonna walk for 20 minutes, I'm gonna take an afternoon nap, kind of things,
right.
So that way you can feel accomplished for doing things. And they always tell us okay, write down the good qualities of yourself. Mm-hmm. And for me, that was always hard, and it still is hard because with me, whenever I, with my mental issues and stuff, it's really hard to focus on the good things. It's always hard to focus on the negatives, or what you think are negatives. So for me, writing this down is yeah, we're saying it in a jokingly manner, and I think that's how we play off things. We joke about it a lot. Even when we started this podcast, it was oh yeah, mental wellness. Oh ha 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 ha. Oh yeah, dude. Hell yeah, mental wellness. Bad low key. We're no, dude, I went through some shit. And you're no, I went through some shit too. And then it got serious.
Yeah.
So I feel for me, it was it was a little bit hard, but then you kind of think about how you present yourself to others, and hopefully people notice that. So it is cool, for me saying that and then seeing you agree with it. It's always yeah, this is way better than the shit I beat myself up over.
Yeah. But I also feel this isn't anywhere near probably what it's going to say when we die, because we're not the ones who are going to write it. It's just fun to see.
No, but
it's kind of a self-reflection, kind of a creative writing thing. But
yeah,
it's also funny for me because I didn't want to deliver this in a serious, sad way for a couple reasons. One, it's it's so weird to do that when it's your own shit and you're not dead.
Yeah.
That's so creepy. If I was just up here just
Super sad.
Just ever so gently telling you the joy that he lightened up all our lives. He cared so much about green stopper things at Starbucks. One of his last dying wishes is to just have a venti cup full of them and to just throw them into the eyes of that manager that didn't order him that week. You broke his heart, you son of a bitch. And I hope you understand how fucked up that is. Rest in peace, young brother. We'll see you later. No, that's what I mean. Like, it's funny, but like 5 minutes of that, oh, maybe it would have been good. But what I'm saying is, like, if I did it and like, obviously that was still sad, but it was like in a funny tone, right? So it's like, it'd be kind of weird if I was playing that and then just being hella depressed, you know? So I think it has to be somewhat lighthearted just because we're kind of goofy and we're not like super, you know, we're not narcissists full through and through.
You know, something I always say about myself when it comes to like my profession, I always said I don't take myself serious, but we take everything we do very serious.
Yeah.
So I think that's where that needs to be shown. You know, like us, like our goofy sides, or like us poking fun at, you know, making fun of ourselves and shit like that. But like also like, yeah, we joked around a lot. We like to keep it lighthearted. We were goofy dumbasses.
Yep.
You know, but
still are.
Like I always said, we don't take ourselves 100% serious. But we take everything we do very, very serious.
Yeah. Well, even the shit that you would say isn't serious. I mean, I took this episode serious in my own way. Same. It comes off stupid. It comes off, you know, silly. But that was what we're kind of going for. You know, that was seriously what we were going for. And I mean, we didn't plan this idea to be sad and to cry with each other on here. Yeah. At least I didn't. And like, I'm pretty sure you didn't. But that would have been funny. That would have been really good if like one of us just came in like a total piece of shit. Like, I'll just appoint myself as that. And then, you know, let's just say you were really... But then it's like, but if you're crying about your own eulogy, you're a fucking weirdo.
And at the end of the day, dude, like...
You're not even really dead. That's just... Okay.
What the fuck do we care what they're going to say? I mean, yeah, we care what they're going to say about us, but like, what even if we care, like, what's that going to do? Like,
yeah,
we can change other people's perspective of us.
I think that's why I want to be playfully annoying with my will now, because with a will, it's legally binding, so they have to do the shit.
Kill you.
Well, I'm already dead, so it doesn't matter.
That's true.
It's my turn. Spotlight's on me now.
Yeah.
No, but he said, like, you know, like, I'm such an attention whore. It'll be like literally the best day for me, and I'm dead, and I can't even enjoy it. But
yeah,
what a fucking hilarious... No, like, that should be a Twilight Zone episode. Like, someone who's so obsessed with themselves, and they just have to watch their funeral.
Yeah.
But then, like, listen to all the people talk about how lame he was.
Well, there's like, I think there's memes like people pretend to be dead, and then like seeing if your friends are crying over you, like, or seeing who fucking showed up.
Dude, that is so funny in a way where if it really happened, it wouldn't be funny. It'd be so creepy.
It'd be so
like, could you imagine? First of all, your reaction wouldn't even be happiness. Mine wouldn't. I'd be like, first of all, you're a piece of shit and you're weird. And now, I don't know if I'm going to show up to the real one.
Like, yeah. No, like, but just like, imagine Coop, like, you're laying there and I'm up and I'm like, yeah, Coop was a big fan of Zach Wilder. So here he is to talk about thanking him as a friend, and here he comes, and you can't even fucking like enjoy like or see him like have this conversation one-on-one because you're dead.
You mean like if my idol was there?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I know, man. I'd be like, what the fuck?
You'd be hella pissed off.
Of course.
I wouldn't do that.
Show up when I'm dead, but not when I'm fucking, you know.
Yeah, I'll save that money. instead of paying the $10,000.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. If anything, oh man, I want to do.
I'll get you a cameo.
You mean like the band? No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm talking about like a cameo of like pay like $200.
That's what I want the band cameo to play my funeral. I want Candy. I love that guy's voice.
I'll be fucking pissed. Like y'all drop like $20,000 to bring like fucking, I don't know, Deftones or something, or Finch to play, even though they're like broken up right now. But Danny loved fucking, I don't know who I'm thinking, Smashing Pumpkins. So here's Billy Corgan who's gonna play tonight acoustic. I'll be fucking pissed. Like, why? I can't even fucking enjoy this now.
Not only Billy Corgan is going to be playing tonight on acoustic, he's also premiering his new wrestling company, and he's going to be bashing his guitar over your dead corpse.
God damn it. As long as you guys put it up on YouTube. As long as like somebody else can enjoy it.
Dude, because you know he's hell into wrestling. But
I know he is.
It
would just what sucks? You fucking enjoy it, and then like Daryl will fucking go ape shit. He'll be like, "Oh my god, Billy Corgan's here!" You know?
Yeah. Someone will be all nerded out,
all hyped up, and they'll be like selfies. There'll be selfies of like Billy Corgan,
right?
My dead corpse.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So yeah, I mean, so then you got someone famous. How many disgustingly shameless selfies are people doing? Oh, dude, it's gonna be everybody.
I will take an
funeral selfie. You know how grossed out Billy Corgan probably would have been? He'd probably be like, you have the worst friends and family. Like, they don't care about you. You're right there, and everyone's taking a picture next to me. Like, this is literally your last day to be like the center of attention before you become the center of the dirt. And like, they're like, yeah, but Billy Corgan's here.
Yeah, no,
Danny was cool, but
write it on your will that it's okay to take pictures, selfies with celebrities at your wake.
There's a fine print. You're like, I have to be in the picture as well.
Yes,
something.
And tagged. How fucking weird! Like tagged,
dude. Yeah, like a fucking. You know how like at weddings you have the fucking photo booth. Yeah. They got like the fucking feather boas right on my casket so people could put it on when they take a picture next to me. No, dude, I want the Viking hat. Fuck you. I want people fighting over fucking eyewear.
With the little fucking like hashtag Koopa's.
Oh, yeah. Like, you know, it says like the numbers, like 06 or what? Yeah, it'd be like dead. You just hold up like an arrow and it's like pointing at me.
Team dead guy.
Rigor mortis, baby.
Oh man, that would be so fucking.
That would be pretty funny, man. To do like a photo booth, or do like a fucking have like a fucking balloon clown. You know.
Oh, I hate a clown, so I will hate you guys.
Okay, well, not a clown, but what if just a balloon guy, and he's just in the back tying up wieners.
Can he do like super cool like Captain
and he'll say he'll do things for you, but he'll do the same thing over and over again.
He'll do a fucking Kermit the Frog over and over.
He's just like, here is a unicorn, and it's the same thing.
You're like, no, this is a fucking poodle. You just did 5
minutes ago. Enjoy yourself. And he just keeps doing the same one over and over. Here's your princess hat, little girl. And it's just a fucking sword again.
Yeah, it's a sword. I kind of want a sword.
Gets a sword.
I want a fucking sword.
That was fun to reminisce about that. I mean, what kind of food are you gonna have
at my funeral?
Yeah,
it has to be every single food that I enjoy.
Is it gonna be a potluck, or are you gonna have an actual somewhat like you just said? You're gonna pick the food.
I'm gonna pick nothing but fast food, so it's gonna be like Taco Bell. I'll be like the fucking 12 crunchy tacos.
Yeah, and can it be like a few hours old too, so none of it tastes good?
Yeah, so it can be nice and soggy.
Especially the fries for everything you.
It has to be. You know, a little bit of some In-N-Out, some nachos, some like pizza.
Fuck,
like
that sounds nice, Danny.
Some Chinese food, some egg rolls.
Why am I fantasizing about your funeral? This is not good, dude. I shouldn't be excited about this. I'm such a fat ass. I'm excited about eating your funeral.
Here I am, like, oh, you know what sounds delicious? Like, oh, this. I need cheesecakes. I need.
You know, be like, someone would seriously make a comment at your funeral, and be like, "Well, apparently he's trying to get us to a fucking early grave too, huh? All this cholesterol."
Some snickerdoodle cookies. No, somebody who's gonna be like, fucking Danny always had no
fucking vegan options, really, Danny?
Yeah, no. Someone would be like, fucking Danny. Like, is this fucking funeral and you only brought fucking Costco pizza? Like,
hey, I fucking love Costco pizza. I will be the guy that be like, shut up.
Hey, take it. I love Costco pizza. I love Round Table and I love Domino's.
Yeah, but best value, Costco by far.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that magnitude, I need Costco. I also need a fucking hardcore band to just be playing nothing but beat downs in the background.
You know, I think that's definitely something that should happen.
It has to be like a concert, right?
At least a breakdown pit for at least part of the thing.
Yeah, like, have you seen those videos of Tsunami, the band Tsunami from San Jose?
No.
Okay, well, I came across on YouTube. They're like Tsunami, first show in San Jose. I'm like, who the fuck is Tsunami? And so I'm seeing the fucking pit, and it's like everybody we fucking know. And I'm talking about fucking Aaron, fucking,
and it's on YouTube.
Yeah, and it's like maybe a 7 or 8 minute set because it's like they only had like 2 or 3 songs.
Is it spelled like the actual wave?
It's spelled SUNAMI. It's just funny because I'm like, who the fuck is this band? And then I look them up, or like I click play on the video and I see like the pit. And I'm like, oh shit, I know that guy. Oh, I know that guy too. I'm like, oh shit, all my friends are there. So it became like, oh fuck, I should have been to that show. But yeah, it's pretty much without the T, like the word, but without the T. And
there we go. First show, San Jose, 10/26.
Real bass shit. Yep, that's the one. And if you click on the video, like legit, the majority of that of those fools throwing down the pit,
they're
all my boys.
Where? Oh, is Aaron wearing the blue? Is he wearing a blue Sharks hat?
Yes, he is.
Okay, I'm watching the thumbnail, and I'm recognizing people. That's fucking funny, dude. I'm gonna watch this later. This is great.
Because it's funny because I'm like, oh,
hopefully I watch someone commit a fucking assault. Someone's getting punched in the head.
What's funny though is like they're all freaking like hella beating up each other, and then like as soon as the song's over, like they're hugging because they all know each other.
Like, all right, dude. Like, thanks for the punch in the face.
Oh, I needed that.
Who's wearing the fucking lime green T-shirt?
I don't know, but it looks like our boy Hollywood. I don't think it is Hollywood, but it looks like.
So what year is this?
I think it's like 2019.
Oh wow. So this is recent.
It's 2019.
Okay, so I thought this was from back in the day, but then I'm looking at the footage and it's like widescreen. So I'm like, no, this definitely isn't from Cave Days.
Yeah.
Or Yamamoto Razor fucking video shoot.
And then one last thing about if I can promote this band.
Yeah, go for it.
They're actually gonna play a show here in San Jose next month. It's like Return of Hardcore, and it's gonna be like a bunch of these bands. Like My Over Eyes is gonna be there, Sivalva, Clutch, a bunch of like hardcore bands are gonna be there. Super excited to be in the back with my earplugs.
You said My Over Eyes?
Yeah, My Over Eyes is gonna be at that show too.
It's like a festival?
Pretty
or
much.
Just show?
But what's interesting is that they're not releasing the location of the place. It's gonna be here in San Jose for $5, but they're not releasing the location until like the day of.
Dude, I'm down. I got some info on that. I'll throw it in the I'll hype it up with the description and with the hashtags too, maybe.
Hell yeah. I think I've been sharing like the flyer on my Instagram page and also like on Twitter.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for it. That's awesome. Oh yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, dude. I'm ready to get hurt.
Yeah, let me know when. Do you know what date it is?
It's on the Saturday, the 16th or 17th. Whenever that Saturday, it's like mid June, and I know it's like on the Saturday.
I think
18, 19.
I think I'm available as long as it's not the 26th. I think I'm available.
No, it's in the teens, and I have a fucking calendar right here.
I'm available.
I can't just look it up.
You said June?
Yeah, June 19.
I think that's literally like a week I'm available.
Yeah.
Weekend before I'm not available. Yeah, so I'll see. Let me yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, because I fly back from Mexico City the day before. So it'll be a cool, like, oh, welcome back. Here's a black guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, dude, that would be cool. And then especially when you got to go to Zoom the next day and you're like, Mr. B. And I'd be like, hey, man, you should see the other guy.
Oh, no, we're going to be on vacation by then. So,
okay, never mind. So it'll be healed.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. So I can.
Not as cool.
So I can definitely. I mean, I'm definitely not going to get my ass beat, though, because I will be all the way in the back.
Well, and let's be real. You're going to have some friends with you.
Dude, you know what's funny, though? And last thing, because we're dragging this episode, but when we were recording last week, our friend Jose texted me. He's like, hey, dude, come through. And I'm like, all right, I came through, and I'm so glad I did. Like, catching up with Jose. Our friend David was there, and so was our friend Danny.
Oh yeah,
he was there, and then our good buddy Ray showed up, and then Aaron showed up, and I was telling Aaron about that one time we went to see the Warriors. And I told you this story before. Like, I forgot how close I was to the pit. So I started just headbanging to like the Warriors, and some dude was crowd killing or whatever. He was just throwing punches like crazy, and I forgot where I was, but a punch was thrown at my direction. It didn't hit me, but it hit like my hat, and it hit my glasses, and it cut me a little bit. But I just remember like going down, covering myself, and I remember our friend Curfew, Michael, he covered me from not getting punched. And then when I looked up, like people we know were handling the situation.
Yeah.
You know, just for non-criminating anybody, just people that we know. And
I mean, statute of limitations, I think you're good anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, same people who are probably going to be at the show, and some people who you probably seen this video. So I'm like, okay, I feel safe enough to be all the way in the back, and I'm not going to get punched. And if I get too close, I know no one's going to. I mean, come on, I'm 37. I don't need to get fucked with anymore.
No, but you know what? Do some curls, do some push-ups, throw some punches, Danny.
Stretch. I'm definitely going to stretch the day before.
Yeah.
Stretch a little bit before.
Don't do too many squats. You got to be ready but not sore.
I mean, at the end of the day, I might just be behind my over ice amps.
That's not a bad thing either.
I'm just gonna be behind them and be like, "Hey, we're homies, remember?" Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna stand here because that's dangerous on over there.
Yeah, like this is who I am now. I'm monitor guy.
And let me go ahead and put my earplugs because it's super loud.
I need to start doing that. I got a lot. I went to a concert last year and all my buddies had earplugs on except me, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess I'm one of those old people that doesn't care.
Yeah, no, I went to a hardcore show. Well, yeah, that Warrior show, and that was definitely with my earplugs also.
Yeah.
Because it's not because it's too loud. It's just that at this point, like, I think we've been to so many shows.
Yeah, you don't need tinnitus kicking in hella hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't need to drive back from Santa Cruz and hear that beep.
Yeah.
You know, I'm good. We're too old for that.
We are too old for that, but at least we're not dead. And you know what? Even though this exercise was about death and was about us talking about our lives, we're still around. We still got a lot to do, and we're happy you guys care enough to visit us every week, listen to our nonsense, support us in this situation and in this life we're doing right now with Tales from the Head. And we're gonna come at you hard with the next few weeks with some good subject matter, and summer's approaching, so temperatures are high, and so is tension, people. So let's talk about it. But yeah, thanks for hearing us out. Thanks for acknowledging who we were as people. Thanks for honoring our image with us today. It was very important, and we all know you care. And we're gonna jump back next week. So enjoy your Memorial Day. This is probably going to be out. I'll throw it out. I'll probably throw it out on. I'm gonna keep it real. We're gonna do it on Monday anyway. I'll probably plug it hard on Tuesday though, because that's when everyone's back at work. Yeah. So we'll see you guys next week. Until then, have a good one and be safe.